I'm not used to technology being faster than I am. Well, welcome, everybody. I'm thrilled today to be talking to Ann Hession, who she has a unique set of skills. She's a healer, she works with healers, and she's also a really sharp businesswoman. I'm really impressed when she has had challenges in different courses and stuff, and I've been extremely impressed with what she does. And her audience are heart-centered entrepreneurs, helping people like us work with our many problems with getting our work out in the world. And one of which is like, what do we charge for things? And Anne really has an incredible grasp on all this because she's coming from the space of being a healer, and she's coming from the space of being a very smart businesswoman. She has over 30 years experience in transformational healing. Let me check my notes here. Oh, and she sold millions of dollars worth of products and services. This is very good.
I have. It's true.
Yes. Again, she really helps people with all of the issues that come up for healers and energy workers and spiritual people. Sorry about that. In terms of
Okay. So Facebook Live is like, it's real life. I come on and then I'm like, oh, what's my hair doing?
I was on one recently. People later went, is your hair supposed to be green? I went, it's like, now you tell me. But
I'm trying out a new look. What do you think?
so Anne has the experience from both sides, and she's helped many people get over all of their stuff about I'm a healer and I can't sell my things. And all of that kind of stuff. So I'm thrilled to have Ann here. Welcome, Ann.
It's great to be here.
So how did you know, it's rare to have somebody who is an energy healer and who is really gets into the business side of it and the marketing side of it. So how did that happen for you?
Well, I've been in different types of healing work for 35 years. I'm a massage therapist for years and studied a lot of, pretty out there transformational spiritual stuff. And so that's always been an interest of mine. And I've also always been pretty entrepreneurial. Like I've had some other businesses as well. My very first business was with my brother and a couple of other people on Maui in the 80s when we had a cab company. That was my very first. If you're going to be a cab driver, Maui is the place to do it. So
really?
Yeah, it was fun. It was the Onohui Cab Company, which is Hawaiian for a delicious group. Anyway.
Oh, impressive.
Yeah. So I have always been kind of entrepreneurial. But here's the thing, most healers aren't. And that's actually where, so it was a long journey from there to here of doing all kinds of healing work and having some level of success, but then running up against all that stuff like around selling and pricing and all of that. And so I have it was a pretty lengthy journey. There was a point where I just realized it didn't matter how good I was at what I did or how much I wanted to help people. I really had to learn how to sell. I had to learn how to sell. And if there's one thing I really want to get across, it's kind of a two-part thing. It's like if you have some work, for me, it's healers. That's who I'm really here to help the most, that you just love, right? Coaches too, right? That you do this, it's because your soul is like calling you to do this, right? And you want to do this for a living and you want to have a successful business doing it. If you don't get straight with yourself and accept that you need to learn how to sell what you do, then save yourself some anguish and stop, or just have it as a hobby. Because truly, and I know that sounds harsh, but like sales is the single most important skill you need. It's the single most important skill. If you can't sell what you do, you won't have a business, right? Yeah. So that's, I remember I said it's like a two-part thing. So that's the first part that's like, no, don't tell me that. The saving grace is sales doesn't have to be what you think it is. Sales doesn't have to be the inauthentic, pushy, sales, slimy thing that you're thinking of when you think of sales, right? You can do sales in a way that is heart-centered. I call it heart-centered and soulful sales. That is, at this point, and it was not always like this for me. I used to hate sales. It used to make me nauseous, all that stuff. But at this point, for me, a sales conversation is as connected. It's as delicious and enjoyable. And it's honestly as like sacred and spiritual to me as a healing session. Like that's what's possible. Just to like kind of take the lid off. And there's a process to kind of get there, right? And so that's kind of been my journey. And now that I'm kind of on the other end of it, I'm here to help other healers realize that they can have a thriving practice without trying to be an entrepreneur, because most aren't entrepreneurs. They just aren't, right? There's a quote, like I would say maybe 10%. I'm one of them, right? I'm a healer and I am naturally entrepreneurial. You're naturally entrepreneurial, thank God. But most, at least to a degree, right? But most really aren't. And they're more what I call a soulpreneur, right? And the soulpreneur is a different set of characteristics. And you're doing this because, it's why you're here on the planet. If you could just, it's a healer listening, right? If you saw a job posted that was like energy healer wanted, full-time, great benefit, you would be like, screw this building on an email list. Let me just take that job, right? That's really what most, right? Like, just be honest, like, oh, that would be, I just want to do the work. It's just that there are no jobs like that. And so healers really have to, in order to fulfill, they have to create a business. And I'm here to help them do it in a way that isn't trying to squish their woo-woo soulful self in models of business that weren't made for them. There's a different path, and that's why I'm here.
And in some you said I really want to underline, for anybody watching this, it feels like I could never be comfortable selling or marketing, that, as Ann said, you're not doing the kind of selling that you don't like. And that all of us, if we studied with anybody, whether with the books or videos, somebody had to make it compelling to you to do it. And think of where our lives would be if we hadn't been sold on something that changed our lives. And so when you start going, it's being of service, and also starting looking at, and Ann goes into this deeply with people, you start noticing, well, what am I making up about it? It's like, well, I don't want to manipulate people. Well, then don't manipulate them. I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to.
I don't want to be seen as pushy. Well, don't be pushy. Ask permission. It is pretty simple, but we get very stuck in our head about it because we've all had bad sales experiences. Every single one of us, right? But the thing I want to remind you of, if you're listening, is you've also had wonderful sales experiences. Everybody out there, you've had an experience with a salesperson who was so great, right? They listened to you, they asked intelligent questions, they knew their stuff, they helped educate you to realize you weren't even asking the right questions and that there was so much more available. They really went up the extra mile, they totally took care of you. That's what sales, it's just like, that's doing sales right. And that's what you're going to do. You just need some skills. There's just some skills missing. That's all.
It's funny. I was thinking exactly the same thing about salespeople that have really helped me by guiding me, and they did want to make a sale if it fit, but they were helping me figure it out. And that's what I like. So that Ann and I are in a giveaway program, which is a really good one. I know at least half of the people that are giving things away.
Yes, this is such a great giveaway. You guys got to sign up for it. There's so many great gifts being given away.
Yeah, it's being run by people that are super high integrity. The people in it, like I said, they're all, I don't know everybody, but I know at least half the people, and they're all doing great work in the world, and they care, and it's great value. And Ann's is one that's super important for you healers out there. And it's the eternal question of, what do I charge for things?
What do I charge? I think healers drive themselves and coaches bananas of like, what do I charge? Am I charging too much? Am I charging too little? I can't get paid that. I can't do that. What if you get this imposter syndrome? You get the then you get the martyr thing. Yeah, it drives people bananas trying to figure it out.
So the gift that you're giving away is well, I'll let you talk about it. I mean, I'm very impressed with it, but I want to hear it from you.
Yes. So it's actually a two-part. So it's the perfect price point, which is a very, it's a short and powerful, like a 5-step program that will walk you through a very, very introspective, very powerful, energetic process to come out at the other end with pricing that you feel confident and aligned with, because that's what matters. That's really like the only thing that matters in pricing. There is nothing in this training about go research what other people are charging and go because that doesn't matter. I promise you. Okay. Where this training came from was that I've been in business for myself for almost 40 years. And over that time, when you're in business for yourself, you have to set your own price, right? If you work for someone else sets the price, and you are okay with it or you're not. When you work for yourself, you have to set your own price, and therefore you have to deal with all of your stuff. You got to deal with your own self-worth and your own self-doubts and your own, the way you compare yourself to other people. So I realized that over those decades of doing that I had created a process. And it's sometimes you're like, doesn't everybody do that? It's like, no. Right? So I took the process that I created over those years that works really well, and I created this training program of it. And I promise you, if you go through the training and you do the simple exercises, as Art, I know Art, you've done this training in the past, you'll come out the other end with your perfect price point. That's perfect it's not perfect for any. It's for you, for now. And guess what? 2 years from now, when you're ready to raise your prices, just go through it again, right? And it'll help you create your perfect price point for then. It's a process that you will always have for the rest of your life to create pricing that you feel great about.
Can I just say, and I think this is very much one of the things you deal with, the tendency for healers most of the time is to way undercharge.
Ways.
You don't want to deny anybody. And I remember years ago,
or not even charge at all, literally, right?
I remember many, many years ago, I had 2 clients who, and I wasn't charging much money, but I gave them discounts because they had their sob stories.
Right.
And I was driving a car. I was in San Francisco that if I went over the Golden Gate Bridge, I was hoping it wasn't going to break down in the middle. And so I just started my business. And both of these clients proudly told me about they'd bought not brand new cars, but much better cars than mine.
Right.
And I'm thinking, I'm giving them big discounts. It's like, because they don't have money, but they have way better. They could just went out and bought way better cars than me.
Exactly. That's great. Everybody got their stuff about money, right? Richer people, newer people, poor people, we all have our stuff about it. That reminds me, years ago when I was a massage therapist, and another massage therapist that I worked with, she turned to me one day and she said she had just found out this client that she'd been giving a discount to for years. And she had just found out that this client doesn't even work. She's a trust fund. Like she literally never worked a day in her life. She's like, why am I giving this person a discount? And it's basically she asked me like, oh, I can't really afford that. So anyway, yeah, we don't need to be doing that.
I really want to urge people, because I really like Ann's program. I think it's really comes from high integrity, including high integrity towards yourself, because it's just not a sustainable lifestyle when you're not charging an appropriate amount, because you get burned out and tired and you can't help your friends and family, and you can't help yourself,
Well, and if you can't charge appropriately and enough that you can, to really support yourself, whatever, you have different goals, and that's totally fine. There's nothing in here about me telling you what you should charge. It's more about, it's a process to help you find out what you feel great charging.
Right.
And but if you can't charge enough to make at least somewhat of a living or meet your goal, then you can't do very much of your healing work, because you'll have to spend most of your time, unless you're like the trust fund lady, you'll have to spend most of your time doing some other work that you're not as passionate about to make a living, right? But if you can really charge appropriately, then you can help so many more people. You're Right. So it is so important. I really encourage you guys when you sign up for the giveaway to get that gift, perfect price point. But I did say it was 2-part thing. So I actually added something to the gift. Okay. So you're going to get ongoing access to the perfect price point program and 3 months membership to my Soulpreneur Success Academy. So this is a live 90-minute group call with me once a month, where I answer any questions you have about business. Can be about pricing, business, sales, marketing, and coaching. And then I also do, because I'm an energy healer, so on these calls, I do energy healing for everyone on the call to clear away those self-doubts, limiting beliefs, those fears, that trauma from the past. So I included a 3-month membership in the Soulpreneur Success Academy, as well as the perfect price point. So I could really support you in getting everything you can out of the training and help you create the business that you want.
Great. And I just want to say to everybody that I'm pretty discerning. I've given courses for decades and decades. I've taken courses for decades and decades, and I'm pretty discerning. I don't give glowing reviews for something. And I've always been impressed by Ann's coming from the heart and coming from this wealth of experience and knowledge about business, and with great attitudes about business. And she's not in that camp like, oh, just double what you're charging, triple it, quadruple it. This kind of all these artificial things that for those of us that are healers, it tends to grate on us. Okay. And her system is about really finding what you think is the right price at that moment. Yeah. And that's huge. I mean, that's life-changing for healers.
It really is. And because it's all about the alignment. And I actually talk about this in programs. So if I say it's aligned, that begs the question, aligned with what? And what I want to say is this program is helping you create pricing that's aligned with your most empowered relationship to yourself and the work you do. That's what it's aligned with.
Fantastic.
Life change. Yes.
That's a drop the mic statement. Anything else you want to leave people with? Any thoughts?
Yeah, again, I'm really here to serve healers, although again, coaches and others who, heart-centered entrepreneurs. This program and the academy are 100% appropriate, and you'll get huge value. Well, and look, who I'm really here on the planet to serve as healers, because the world needs healers. Really needs you. But the work you do is so important. It does change lives. And in some cases, it saves lives, right? So don't let those doubts and those fears and that I don't know what to do next and I don't know what I can charge. Don't let that stop you from making the difference that you're here to make in the world. And reach out to people like Art and to me, and who we've gained our our wisdom over the years, and there's some of that is going to be really, really helpful for you. This is just like one particular example of the pricing, but what you do matters. It really, really matters. And we're here to help you get it out to all the people who are there are literally people waiting. Whoever is listening right now, there are people waiting for you. They're waiting for you to come in and make a difference in their lives, and they need to find you.
That's beautiful. And I just want to say to everybody, I mean, I can't think of a reason in the world why you would not sign up. And I'll put the link in, sign up for the giveaway. It's a giveaway, and get Ann's, and go through all the courses, see what appeals to you, but definitely get Ann's and in the membership and the solo. Why am I blanking?
Soulpreneur Success Academy.
Soulpreneur Success Academy. I mean, it's one of those things like, why on earth wouldn't you do it?
I mean, we have fun. We'll have a lot of fun too.
Exactly. So you get the energy work and you get the smarts and the inspiration, motivation. What else do you want? So thank you, Ann, so much. I've really enjoyed it. And I'm going to be going through it again, actually, very soon over the next few days. Because I need a refresher. And that's what's great about it is it's, as Ann said earlier, it's not like you do it once and then you're stuck. You can keep doing it.
Yes, you can go through it there. And for each news, as you create a new program or you create a new offering, go through the perfect price point again for that.
Oh, nice.
It's one to just use over and over. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Ann, and thank you everybody for watching.
All right. Bye, everybody.